It's time.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. King of the Couch back in your ear holes for another week of the King of the Couch podcast. I'm sitting here. I've got the Zoom loaded up. Talking to I think a soon-to-be new friend, but someone, frankly, I've met on the internet. It's a great place to meet people. The man sitting across from me, he's the director, the wine buyer, the brainchild behind Built to Spill Wine, and he is the singer and guitarist, the shred lord, the backbone of heavy metal band Master Leonard, and all around just funny as fuck, Instagram reel legend, Tai Tate. How are you, man?
I'm very well, thank you. There's a very kind intro. Thank you.
I'm getting better. At that. Hey, but no, I appreciate it, man. This is like officially the first time that we've met. I've been I don't even know how I come across you online. It might have been from Built to Spill. It could have been from Master Leonard. I don't know, but I started watching your Instagram like reels that you do, and I was like, "Fuck, this guy's funny." And I got to be honest, you were somewhat of an inspiration to me. I put out a reel. I've done one, and I was like, it was to promote the show, and I was like, this is actually a lot harder to do than the people that make it look really easy. It's one of those things that sort of fucked my head, and I was like, how did the fuck does he do this?
It's like I like to think of myself as like a very abstract painter when it comes to that. So it's like don't think, just go and see what sticks.
Nah, man, you do a good job. I think it's cool because obviously you promote Built to Spill and just everything you're about through it. You obviously don't take yourself too seriously. So I'm sitting there watching it, going, yeah, this guy. It's kind of one of those things. I look at you sometimes, I'm like, he's living parts of the life that I want to live, you know what I mean? I love the fucking metal, I love wine and stuff like that. I'm like, how I got to get him on the show. So I appreciate you taking the time, man. I know you're down in Sydney, and you guys are like fresh out of lockdown, man. So you staying in on a Monday night to talk to me is a big deal now, so appreciate
it. To be honest, like I've only been out once since I went to the movies, and I went to the pub once.
Yeah.
It's because I really felt like a cold beer, but I went Tuesday. I was like kind of thought that was a bit cooler, not go out on first night out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm like I didn't really have much of a lockdown. It was just working super hard and whatnot, and working super hard on doing stupid videos at home as well. But yeah, like I guess like the big thing I'm most excited about getting out of lockdown is going and playing shows and going and seeing shows again.
Yeah, that's a big one, man. We'll get into the music thing. We'll probably split it up between Master Leonard and Built to Spill, but I'm a massive like music fan, and I think there's a lot of industries that have been affected by COVID, but music or arts, that sort of whole scene has just been like ravaged, and not even just in one place, like the whole world. Like, yeah, it just seems to be forgotten about, man. What movie did you see, just out of curiosity? I love movies as well.
With Nicolas Cage.
Oh, is it good?
It was really cool. Not what I expected at all, but it was very, very cool.
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude. That's on my list to see, actually, and I love Nick Cage. Like I've got a sweet spot for him. Like he's just all his old action movies, and then he's just went crazy, and I love it. More so than the fact that he was one series.
Yeah, exactly. I know he's my idol. He's fucking great.
Yeah, no, that's good, man. He's like, it's funny, like he falls into like the group of actors now that were like they're still huge in their own right. Don't get me wrong, they've made heaps of money and they don't need to like do anything of Hollywood sort of fame now, because they can just go off and do these weird sort of movies because they made their dough, and they sort of like him and like the Bruce Willises, the Mel Gibsons, and all those sort of old like action stars. They're pumping out like 2 or 3 movies a year, and they have like some bizarre fucking plots. Like they're just mental, some of them.
Like especially Nick Cage, but like I mean, I have heard he's in like a bit of a bad place. Like he's always just getting loaded in Las Vegas, and which like fair enough. I don't think like in a super like happy place, but he's doing some really good movies.
Yeah, absolutely. I know, man. Look, yeah. I mean, I suppose people that don't have much money get loaded every night. So he's got heaps of money. It'd be hard. I reckon if I had that much money too, I'd probably find a way to get fucked up and have a good time. But hopefully, it's not for bad reasons.
Imagine no responsibilities at all. Just be like, you know what? Fuck it.
Yeah, dude. I got a new movie out, Pig. We're going out. I live in Las Vegas. That would be a hard place to live and try to remain sober. You know, like it's just not gonna work.
Yeah, fuck.
Nice, man. Mate, I have like usually like a few icebreakery sort of questions I go through, man. Usually because I like to know the answer before we get sort of stuck into the other stuff, man. But I'll ask them anyway. Because I think I love hearing the answers of them. What's the weirdest food you reckon you've ever eaten?
Weirdest food?
Yeah, something that's sort of a bit like, why would you eat that, or just random?
I mean, I guess like they're called hoo-hoo grubs.
Who
And
grabs?
they're like a bit of a delicacy. Like I'm from New Zealand,
Yeah,
and like when people work in forestry and stuff, like cutting down trees, whatnot, there is like little like big fat kind of worm thing. I guess they're like witchetty grubs here, mate.
I was gonna say like witchetty grubs. Yeah.
And you just like you take them out of the bit of wood and fry them in the frying pan. It's like smoko time and with a bit of salt. And they taste like peanut butter.
Yeah.
Yes, that was pretty weird. Or actually, like jellyfish salad.
Yeah, that's pretty weird. I like that.
Yeah, that was very weird. Like a Golden Century. Like, have you heard of that place? There's like this restaurant in Sydney. But it's like one of the ones like open like really late night, like great Chinese food.
Yeah,
Like
right.
all the good chefs of the area would like would congregate there with the rest of the hospitality kind of crowd.
Yeah, nice.
3 o'clock in the morning, and people would be like, try and out cool each other with their orders. And I managed to be on, the poor receiving end of a few those late night. Have you tried the jellyfish salad? I was like, this tastes like bullshit.
Yeah. There's a good reason you don't see jellyfish on the menu. No, I haven't actually. But it's funny. I was going to say, as soon as you said jellyfish like salad, everyone that I've asked that question to, it's usually like some sort of like Asian delicacy. You know what I mean? Like they're the kings of just knocking out weird food. Like they just love it. Yeah, hoo grubs. I have to check that out. I did notice the accent, man. Whereabouts in NZ?
A little place called Ohakune, which is like right in the middle of the North Island.
Yeah, nice, man. I've actually the last guest I had on the show, Isaac John, he was New Zealand as well. So small world, mate. The back-to-back New Zealands, mate. Kiwi, we love it. Love it. Hoo grubs. I'm gonna try them out. Man, have you got a favorite movie and I'll follow it up with like, have you got a favorite sort of TV show you're watching at the moment?
Favorite movie would like of all time, or just kind of.
Yeah, man. Anything that sticks out. I find it's a hard question. Like for example, mine's Goodfellas. Like I love Goodfellas.
See that in the background.
Yeah. It's like it's a new piece, a new vinyl ornament, and it's always like one. You know when you get asked that question like 100 times, you never have an answer straight away. I was like, I gotta have an answer. So I just one day I was like, it's Goodfellas. Like that's the one. But it can be difficult,
because I mean, there's heaps of like movies that I'm just like, it's one of the best things I've ever fucking seen in my life.
Yeah.
But like, I never ever want to watch that ever again, because there was like living a life watching that movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's like shit that I could just like put on just constantly and be like, oh, that was mad. So it's like, it goes between like there's some fucking art house thing, and then like, Avengers 69 was so good. I watch it every Sunday. I feel like
Yeah, dude. It's like that, hey. You want to say some like outlandish shit, but then you're like, I just love Dumb and Dumber. Like I've seen it 139 times. Like it's still funny.
I did watch I watched The Waterboy the other day. And
Yeah.
like it was awesome. It was so good. It was not problematic really, like too much. And also Joe Dirt was sick.
Yeah, dude, it's like next level dumb, but it gets sort of funnier when you watch it because you find new shit.
Yeah, and they aged well, and I was like, actually, I think you guys knew what you were doing with these ones. They kind of everything else was fucked up, but yeah. Otherwise, apart from that, a serious movie would be Mandy with Nicolas Cage. I've watched that a few times.
Yeah, right. That's another one. I actually haven't seen that one. There's a few I've missed because he pumps me out so much, but That's the horror-y sort of one, is it? Like there's full of blood and shit, yeah?
It's fucking sick. It's
Yeah.
like it's like Pulp Fiction mixed with like a little bit of like Kill Bill with like fucking Hellraiser, and yeah, it's like it's perfect.
Yeah, dude. I might check that out. It keeps coming up and I can picture like just the blood scenes I've seen in it, and it just seems to be like red. Like every picture I've seen of it or still from the movie is just fucking red, you know?
That's good.
That's sick, man. Mandy. All right, I'll check that out. What about are you watching any TV shows at all at the moment? I know you seem like a pretty bit of a workaholic, man. I don't know if you sit down and watch too much
Well,
TV, but
I kind of don't want to say it because I think just everyone's just that, but I've been watching that bloody Squid Game TV show, you know.
I didn't want to answer it for you, but that seems to be the show of the moment, eh?
My partner's just like, I looked up the spoilers. I'm not watching that fucking shit.
Yeah.
It's too cool. But yeah, I watched that and I thoroughly enjoyed that.
Yeah.
There was a good time.
Yeah. It looks good. I've only heard good things about it from people that I know. So I've actually not watched it myself, but it's on the list. Yeah, the Koreans are pretty good at knocking out good movies and series and twisted sort of things.
Especially getting a bit twisted, like you know, you're thinking like things like Old Boy and you know that director's whole stuff, like, you know, Thirst and stuff as well. It was wild, but yeah, it's good. It was fun.
No, I'll check that out, man. I try to not start like more than one TV show at once. It's kind of like I maybe watch one episode at night, you know, like every couple of nights sort of thing. But yeah, you get hooked. It's just, it's so bad when you sit down.
Yeah, I used to be really good at it, but now I'm too scared of like committing
Yeah.
something new, like especially with the TV series. Like, oh, what if it sucks?
Yeah.
But like back in the day, like it was easy because everyone would just swap hard drives and be like, "Have you seen The Wire or The Sopranos?" Yeah, and then you're like, "Oh, this is really great TV." But yeah,
Yeah.
like, it's a bit too accessible now, so.
I know it's like that. You sort of get to that age where you have kids and stuff, and then like I don't own a home, and you're like, you got to buy a car, and you got to do all these like adult things, and then you're caught between like, hey, I want to have a good life and experiences, but I also want to become a fucking millionaire because those experiences sometimes cost some money, and then you're so tired, and you sit down and you go, oh, I could just stick on Squid Game and just check it out.
I need more sleep, but yeah, no, it was good.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Sure.
No, that's nice. This could be a tough one for you, man. I can never answer this one myself, to be honest. But have you got a favorite band at all? I know you're a musician and stuff. I imagine you've got a fucking long list.
This band, they're from Sydney, Australia. Hugest Wangs. They've tasted Master Leonard. No. This is pretty easy for me, to be honest. Favorite band of all time would be Power Trip.
Yeah. Nice. Fucking good answer.
And Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds.
Really?
And Slayer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those three for me.
That's a good little mix. Yeah, I thought, I had a feeling you're gonna say Power Trip because I know you must have like every shirt that they've ever put out. Like, again, subconsciously weird watching through the Instagram. You're like, he's got a lot of Power Trip merch.
It's washing day.
Yeah. Oh, dude, no, that's good answers, man. It's super sad about Riley too because I don't know if you can see it there, little Riley tattoo there. Oh, that's cool, man. Yeah, fuck, wow. He's so young, dude. It's so sad, hey. It's just like, I knew them a little bit, and then you always do this, hey, when someone passes away, you're like, you feel like you owe it to them to go, fuck, like, I knew a little bit about you. Now I'm going to have to like find out everything about you that I can. And then you get like, I listened to all the albums then, and then I was like, man, I was a bit more upset because I was like, oh, fuck, why don't I give it more time when he was alive, you know, like.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's sad. But yeah, Slayer are good, man. I've got all their stuff and seen them live a few times, and here's what you get. You know what you're gonna get with Slayer.
They're like the thrash metal AC/DC, you know, like.
Yes.
made a new song, and everyone's like, oh shit, and then it's like sounds exactly like the rest of the other song. He's like, yes.
Yeah, I know. It's just the lyrics or the titles that change, and then you're just like, oh yeah, God hates us all. Yeah, cool. Oh, we're doing Rain and Blood. Yeah, all right, there we go. Yeah, tick. No, it's good. I've just seen Kerry King. He's come out saying he wishes that they didn't hang up the gloves, but he's got some side band, new project happening. Apparently, there's a bit of talk of him and Phil Anselmo doing something potentially because he's a big Slayer fan. So, I mean, I love Pantera. They're probably my favorite. They're probably my favorite metal band. So, yeah.
I don't know if you ever watched. There's this really cool little kid who does interviews called Little Punk People.
Yeah, he's cool, man. Yeah, Elliot, I think his name is. Yeah.
And his interview with Phil Anselmo, it was just like, he sounds like a fucking wrestler, and he talks like this, but he gives this kid like the fucking time of day, and
yeah,
my partner were like hungover one day, like watching that, and they're like, "Oh my god, Phil, I love you." You know what I mean?
know. It's so that the kid just goes in so he's just so confident too, but he's just still a kid, and everyone just is so nice to him. But I think it says so much about the musicians and like the whole genre. Like it looks so dark and scary, and it sounds dark and scary, and then you're like, no, it's so nice. It's just you kind of have to get beyond that dark and scary thing, yeah.
I think generally, like on a positive spin on it, like majority of people in metal bands and the metal community are fucking really lovely, down to earth, beautiful people.
Yeah, definitely, man. Yeah. Look, mate, you're the first musician I've had on the show, man, and you're 10 out of 10 for niceness, man, and personality. So there you go, dude. I like that. We'll get into the music. I've got a music show in the works, actually, man. So we should hook up again, and we can fucking talk music for days, I reckon. Man, this one's a bit of a hard one too, I think. But favorite piece of advice that you've ever received, or is there a motto that you a philosophy that you live by? You sort of follow day to day or something like that?
Fuck.
It's a tough one. You don't need to answer, by the way. If you can't, we can always pass.
No, there was a good one I had the other day, but then I forgot it. You know what I mean? You ever have those ones? You're like, oh, this is my fucking this is my ride or die every day.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Just bring it back. It's just ride or die. It's like, fuck, all right, we'll just keep going, you know what I mean? Don't eat cheese before noon.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Now, fuck, my thing is just trying to be kind. All the time to all people, whether they deserve it or not.
Yeah.
And try not to give everyone the benefit of the doubt right there, because you end up doing way more harm to yourself by thinking someone's calling you a piece of shit just when they say hello or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's it, man. I don't know. That's good. That's good advice, man. I think people could take a leaf out of your book, man. People it's weird this day and age. We should be so much more aware and enlightened and things like that, but sometimes it almost goes the opposite in some circles. So yeah.
I don't know, like mental health's it's a gnarly one. It's something I've definitely struggled with my whole life. It's actually kind of half the reason I do stupid videos and stuff on the internet.
Yeah,
it's very much like a cathartic experience, and it's very nice that it brings some people some joy, and they get to kind of have a bit of a break out of their day as well, and that kind of then comes back to me too. That's why I enjoy doing that stuff.
Yeah, that's nice, man. That's lovely. I think that's really cool too. I saw a thing Jim Carrey did once. It was one of his motivational chats that someone puts together on YouTube, and it was sort of how he summed up his comedy and why he wanted to get into it. And it was like he wanted to free people from concern. And I was like, that's a really interesting way to look at delivering comedy, and it kind of is like that because. Yeah, I put on I think it was the Dave Chappelle special the other night, and because it's getting a lot of buzz, good and bad, and I thought I'll put it on, and I was feeling sick, and I was laughing at parts, and you feel better as soon as you start laughing. You're like, I feel better, you know what I mean? It's so good. So you're definitely spreading joy, man, because that was how I said I found Built to Spill and Master Leonard, and then I come onto your profile. I was like, I like what this fucking guy's about. I like that shit. So no, that's cool, man. Man, let's chat. Let's chat Master Leonard. As I said, I know you got some songs on Spotify and stuff. I come across. I can't honestly. I can't remember, but I liked. I saw the artwork of the album or the EPs and stuff. Like, this is fucking badass. You know, it looks cool. I like the name, and then I found the songs, and I was like, I like the songs. How'd you get into Master Leonard? What's it about? How would you describe yourselves? I know you definitely are a metal band of sorts, but you're powerful. I like it.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. We've been playing for, the last 3 years, under various names and various lineups and stuff. But Master Leonard, self and in this incarnation, and made up this kind of way, this form of a sandwich is only been around since just before COVID last year.
Yeah.
So we changed. We used to be Black the Sun, which is there's a song by some real shit rapey guy, an old shithouse drummer. Anyway, you can bleep that out if you want.
No, never. Uncensor it, man. I like it like this. We like it raw.
And we changed the name, and we were like, we had a show lined up opening for Cadaver.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know that band from Germany that were playing at Frankie's. And we changed the name to Master Leonard. Master Leonard's the satanic god of orgies and frozen cum. And
yeah. I think it's cool. I didn't know. I'll be honest. I didn't know that until the other day when I was I googled it. I think to find some stuff, just to do my research, mate. And I looked at it. I was like, oh, that's pretty. I like that. It's perverse.
Like the 3 horns and shit as well.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. The name came about. Me and my missus were in the Central Coast. We were like, we got to change the name. The name's terrible. And we're like, how do we find our name? And she's a bit of a metalhead, and she's like, just go on Wikipedia and look up names of demons. And you go there, and like, fuck, half of this list is like bands I like. And like, Master Leonard, there we go.
Yeah, I like that. There's nothing. It's like pretty metal too. Hey, you're just like demons. You're just like, yeah, fucking dark, scary. That'll do. I love it.
Frozen cum orgies. Yeah, all right.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Oh, nice.
Then soon after that, we got a new drummer. Got our boy Giacomo in from Sardinia in Italy.
Yeah, nice.
And like right kind of fucking smack bang in the middle of COVID and lockdown and shit last year, we recorded those 3 songs. He'd been in the band for like a week. We're just like, all right, this is what we're doing now.
Yeah.
And so kind of made a whole bunch of progress to kind of launch us a bit more later on.
Yeah, nice.
Which is cool. So yeah, we managed to get the record out. A guy called Purified by Satan did the artwork from Indonesia. It's fucking awesome. And then we started playing a whole bunch of shows, and obviously that all got shut down now, but we've got like another 5 songs nearly finished in the studio.
Yeah, cool.
And then so hopefully bring that up for the end of the year or maybe early next year.
Yeah, I suppose now that hopefully if lockdown, stays away, you can start to plan gigs and shit. I know that's like pretty hard, obviously, to do that. So you've got the album out, yeah?
The 3 songs are out. We got that on a 12-inch single. So
yeah, that's
Surfer single.
Yep, that's what I thought. Yeah.
That's from Blighttown Records. You can buy it from there. And then we got 5 songs coming out soon. I'm still trying to figure out how we're going to split it up. And then next year is full album time.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Yeah, I could imagine it's pretty long-winded to try and get in this day and age too. It seems like, I don't know, I've never done it myself. I've always been a huge music fan and things like that. And it's always been one of those, I play a bit of guitar and stuff. I can't sing, I can't write lyrics, but you're like, oh, one day I'll get an album out one day. But how do you do it? Like the 3 guys, you come together sort of equally, or are you like the main songwriter? I know you do the singing and you're the guitar player, so.
I'm the biggest phony of them all. I don't do fuck all. We're like, it's we all bring in ideas and riffs and stuff, and then kind of go from there.
Yeah, nice.
I think there's only been a couple of times that like one of us has brought in like a complete song and then being like, hey, this is how this goes. But every time we just get in, like we just started rehearsing again recently, and we jump in a room and go like, hey, like what about if we did a bit that was kind of like went like this and sounded like that song, but like a little bit different and down here, and then everyone figures out, fills in the blanks after that.
Yeah.
So it's very very much like a very raw, organic kind of experience, right?
Yeah.
Writing music with the boys.
Oh, nice, man. Yeah, no, it's cool. There's instantly like when I listen to it, and I've heard the 3 tracks a few times now. Like I always pick up when bands are 3-piece, like bands, obviously going back to like Motorhead. Your name on Instagram is High on Fire, so I was like, he's got to be a High on Fire fan. But it was like you pick up, as soon as you listen to it, and there's something about 3 pieces. I don't know, it's obviously Motorhead had been around for a long, long time, and but there's something about 3 pieces that they just sort of have like there's something really cool about them, and there's like a real heavy sound when there's like less members. It's like there's one guitar, the one bass, and one drums.
It's like we've all got tiny dicks and we're all driving like huge pickup trucks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
It's like we're like, there's only 3 of us. Come on.
We'll turn everything up as loud as it fucking goes, and we'll just see how it goes. Yeah.
We've got way too many speaker cabinets, and like drums are bigger than they need. Like everything is just like it's all compensating, but it does make a difference.
No, I think it's really cool, man. I like it. I mean, I'm always looking for new music, new bands, and especially if it's close to home. Like, I mean, I'm in Queensland, up on the Sunshine Coast. There's a few bars up here now, which is cool. But that's always the thing. Like, I'm, trying to get to bands nowadays and see them live. That it kind of won't make you fucking bankrupt for like a month after it. These international bands, it's so expensive to go see them, and the booze and the merch and stuff. So it's good to have like good, like almost like domestic bands to go and see that are fucking actually really good. And I think Australia's got such a good scene, like it's relatively untouched when you sort of go to some of these bars. No one's heard of some of these bands, and they're fucking great.
And that's like kind of, that's what's actually been kind of a good thing about COVID as well, is like the local scene is just like flourished so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. All the bands that we kind of like started with, are like fucking just like going leaps and bounds, like Mountain was a Death Cult, and a Mammoth and Mourners and Astro Death and Potion, and like there's so many fucking good bands that are just like are killing it, and have just like taking this kind of lapse in the market to like really hone their craft and stake their claim.
Yeah.
So it's like, I reckon by the time High on Fire does come out, and there's some of those bands and maybe even us supporting or whatever, will be like more than worth the support.
Oh yeah, man, that'd be cool. It's crazy too. You mentioned Astro Death there. They're another band that I've sort of an old friend. He put me onto them. I saw him wearing the shirt, and I spinning the record, whatever it was. I like the thing is something about artwork that. Before you've even heard the music, if the album art looks cool or the band name looks cool, and it sort of ties it together, like I'm a very visual person, I'm sure you are too. It's a cross built to Spill and Master Leonard already, like from what I can see. But that'll draw me in before I've even fucking put the music on. You see the shit and you go, oh, fuck, I hope this sounds good, because it looks good. It needs to sound good, And if it sounds good, you're like, yes, thank fuck for that. But Astro Death were a band that I come across, and I was like, wow. I was like, for 2-piece, I was like, that's a huge sound. Again.
And like even huger live as well, and such great human as well. But yeah, it's actually funny, like that you mentioned that just before I was just on a Zoom call with a band from New Zealand called Planet of the Dead, and they were a band that I found last time I was in New Zealand, just in my friend's record store, and was like, picked the record, and I was like, 100% I'm gonna like this thing because the artwork was so sick.
Yeah.
and then they took it home and listened to it. I was like, fuck, this is awesome. Sent it to the band, and we just all had a Zoom meeting that we got to do a split record together and tour with each other next year. So that's really cool.
Yeah, no, that's cool, man. I think the artwork is such a big thing, hey, and it's just like nowadays, I suppose, like you've got all the tools, like Instagram and all the social media and stuff. It's sort of and I think bands are getting really You know, the ones out there, they've got great music and stuff, which is awesome. But they're getting really creative of how they expose themselves and push themselves. I think, which is great. You kind of have to nowadays because it's just the world we live in, right?
Exactly. You know, it's that whole advertising thing. It becomes goes over and over and over and over so much that you need to do something different and do it well to stand out. But that almost becomes like an extra medium for your creativity as well. So it's like, there's so many bands that I've seen, like their promo is just like cool enough on its own. I just watch that heaps of time.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Yeah, no, there's definitely some smart musicians and stuff out there. I mean, but yeah, you got to hand it to them, man. I mean, I've always loved music and I've always tried to support it any way I can. I'm even just trying to fucking play the guitar. I'm like, this is hard enough, and to keep that shit up and then to add all the other stuff in and go out and do it. So I mean, yeah, more power to you, man. Is there any tours in the works, any shows? I know you've done a handful down in Sydney, I think.
Yeah, and we managed to get to Canberra this year, which was sick. That was one of the last shows we did. We got up to the Blue Mountains. We were supposed to be down in Melbourne a few weeks ago, but obviously that didn't happen. But I know we got 20th of November. I think we're back down in Canberra. We're playing Aftermath Festival, playing with Lucifungus down in Canberra. We are heading to Melbourne at some point. And then Frankie's like early next year, which would be cool.
Yeah, nice.
But yeah, the plan is to try and get out and about a little bit more.
Yeah.
But it's hard. Like, everyone in the band, like we've all got kids, and two of the guys have serious jobs. Like, a builder and a psychotherapist, and I sell wine on the internet. And so it's kind of like, we're gonna do a tour. Okay. We're all available for one day.
Yeah. I've got this much annual leave, but yeah. No, that's the thing. I think, and that's, it's crazy too. Like, again, in this day and age, unfortunately, like, unless you're like super big with your band or your music career, like, it doesn't really pay, right? So you kind of have to have a fucking job. And then it's like people, like myself, in the back of my head, I'm going, oh, I can't wait till these guys come to Queensland. But you're just sort of going, there's a lot of fucking wheels that need to move in motion to get that band to Queensland or get them to another state. So yeah, it can be tough, but yeah, man, the fans appreciate it. There's nothing better than going to see a fucking live band,
Exactly. And like, we've got, we're not kidding ourselves or anything. We don't think we're ever going to be any kind of huge deal at all. It's like, as long as it's like we love doing it so much, and we love creating music and playing in front of people. If it can be, if it can cover its own costs pretty much, that's great,
Yeah. I get that.
If you're paying a little bit extra just to have a good time, there's definitely worse things we could be doing.
Yeah, no, that's cool, man. I think it's cool. Like
playing in a band or something.
Yeah. Fuck, I know, man. You've picked the right genre to go ahead with, man. So that's good. How did you sort of get into metal? Was it like my dad was a musician and sort of had music growing up, and I think I was just a product of my environment in that way, and started with the rock and stuff, and then I sort of teared off and went to sort of heavier shit. But how'd you get into it? What was it that did it for you back in the day?
Just like my older brothers, they were all 10 plus years older than me, and they were like 10, 13 and 20 years, not 19 years older than me, so quite big age gaps, but fucking like just perfect.
I was gonna say that, isn't it? That's a big age gap. Yeah.
And so they all had like really different but excellent taste. So it was like, the next oldest would be like, oh, you gotta listen to Nirvana and Snoop Dogg or something, and then the next one's like, oh, you gotta listen to Rage Against the Machine and this, and then the oldest one's going like, it's Slayer and Megadeth and Anthrax and The Doors. And you're like, okay, yeah, sweet. So that formed a good little nucleus for my own musical explorations. But it's kind of funny, yeah. I've always really liked kind of the heavier stuff for sure.
Yeah, no, it's something about it. We sort of touched on it earlier too. Like, it can be so dark and scary, and it is fucking, bludgeons the ears, some of the bands you listen to, but the community around it's so nice. Like I've said to some people that aren't into metal or heavier music, and they're like, I said, sometimes like the mosh pit or the fucking circle pit or being in the crowd is like the safest place you can be. You know what I mean? Like it's like it's a good vibe, like the family sort of vibe that you get knocked down, and then there's someone's there to pick you back up, or
It's like how many times you get fucking knocked down in the middle of the street and no one will pick you up.
I know. It's just the cool thing about it is I always thought it's a completely sort of unpretentious scene. You know what I mean? Like it's very, it can be fucking very dirty looking, hairy, smelly, this, that. Anyone from all backgrounds can get into it. And
Everyone's excited, and like, but it's excited to learn as well. I like that vibe.
Yeah, no.
You got to check this out. It's the fucking best.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, no, we love it. I love paying it forward, finding new bands out. So we'll have to. Man, I got your Instagram, so we'll have to fucking swap some bands, I reckon, as we come across them. No, that's cool, man. We'll definitely be keeping out for the fucking album and the merch and the tours and all that sort of shit as it comes. So
there's a Nick Cave buddy coming next winter, I reckon. It was basically this winter, but we forgot.
Yeah. No, fuck yeah. No, that's sick, man. I love what I've heard so far. So I'll be keeping tabs on it for sure. I have to I actually had a look at your merch store the other day. So I was hanging out for a t-shirt. So I don't think you got any on there now, but when some come up, I'll have to hook one up.
They're all sold out. And they're not saying that we're popular. I think we just ordered like 12 or something.
No, I've bit of shameless plugging here. I'm like a 80s band just wearing their own t-shirt right now. But yeah, I'm the same. People just think that you've just got hundreds here and you're making heaps of money. You're just like, nah, they're definitely made to order. And I'm if I'm like you with the touring, if I can break even, I'm okay. Exactly. Yeah. Fuck yeah. Man, let's talk Built to Spill. Obviously, I'm not sure if I'll do the video here. I'll definitely release the audio. I'm sitting here drinking a great domestic lager. Tui's New. You may have heard of it. I'm looking. I can see here. Obviously, you had a nice pink sort of. I'm guessing some sort of beer, sour beer.
It's actually a cider. Actually, fuck. What am I? It was not that cider. It was a different cider. That's my friend's cider. 1 second.
You're right. He's getting more liquor here.
Yeah, exactly. You should only ever drink the Thai cider. This is the finest cider you could ever have. It's made completely naturally, and you have 79% less chance of having a hangover.
Mate, I'm glad you brought that up. That was a good plug because it was on my list because I saw that and I was like, how did he fucking get into this? Man, that's sick. You can get them on.
Made by the same people that did make this though. So actually, if you like Finn cider, you will love the Thai cider. Basically, that came about from I had some winemaker cider friends down in Victoria, and they're like, "Oh fuck, we've all run out of time. We can't all put this project together anymore. We've got a whole bunch of bottles of cider. Can you move them for us?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'll just get like 4 tattoo mates in Sydney to do some labels up." So they did 4 different labels and various kind of, some of them versions of me, some of them, and yeah, we put them together and started selling them on the site.
Yeah, no, they look sick, man. They're the big sort of champagne size bottles too, aren't they?
And they're fucking heavy. Like,
yeah,
thanks for a good paperweight if you don't like drinking as well.
Yeah, no, I like it. I saw him, man. I think they look cool. Again, the artwork and things like that. I'm like, oh fuck, he's hitting it. As long as it tastes half good, we're there, you know. So, and what's the other with the other drink? You've got like a wine there.
Is I'm on samples tonight, so I get sent a lot of samples. Being a wine buyer, this is the same crew from Finn, but the other half of those guys is Cray Wines, also down in Victoria.
Yeah,
nice. This is a Kenzie Cloudy Sauvignon Blanc.
Man, what a terrible job to have where people just send you wine to taste.
Right.
I need to learn how to do that job. Hey, that's fucking unreal, man.
Never drinking. always tasting.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, he's got the little. Is it the spittoon just off there to the side shot? Um, man, yeah, built to spill. Wow, what's it all about? I from my side, like it's natural wine, preservative free, but I know you do collaborations and stuff. But give us the plug, man. Give us the how did it start? What's it all about, man? I think it's very cool. So I want to know about it. I want to learn more.
Basically, Built to Spill came about from myself, the guys from Crowbar, and the guys from Unified Music Group.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And we all had, the idea to put better wine, put natural wine in the hands of music fans, and make collaborations that were decent. There were too many, terrible Yellowtail AC/DC collaborations and things like that.
Yeah.
And so we wanted to redact that and make something really cool and educate people in a non-pretentious way, and get people drinking better, and help people support their favorite bands as well, and make interesting different kind of merch.
Yeah.
That then blossomed into doing rare vinyl, doing some crazy super rare allocation wines and whatnot as well, and it's just been crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just all about drinking well and listening well, and having a bit of fun with it.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Where did the whole natural wine thing come from? I'll be honest, I like drinking wine. I wouldn't say I'm like a massive connoisseur, but I love smashing a rosé and things like that when I can, which is quite regularly, to be honest. But I'd never really drank too much organic wine or natural wine, and it was a whole new thing to me when I came across Built to Spill. So how'd that sort of come about? What's that about?
Well, I mean, I've been in hospitality for 16, 17 years or something like that. And I always knew wine is like a part of that job, and it's a big scary kind of thing, and I didn't really understand it, but I knew I had to understand it a little bit to work. And it wasn't until I started working in a place maybe 8 or 9 years ago, and they're like, we're just going to do organic wine, like this is going to be our point of difference. It was like, okay, cool. And I got to meet a few of the suppliers and a few of the winemakers through this place, and I got to realize that that there are all these different kinds of styles of wine out there that were not these cookie cutter types of wines, that were that these new kinds of wine, what I thought were new kind of wines. They were exciting and different and a little bit wild, and a little bit more accessible to me as a person, and not just as an employee trying to figure out how to sell this thing I don't really care about to someone else who actually also doesn't know what they care about and drinking a wine. Basically what it was like running into a bunch of musicians and farmers and crazy motherfuckers that were making wine.
Yeah.
And it was cloudy and dirty, and they're saying this is actually better for the environment. And you can look at these vines, and they've got birds chirping around, they've got worms in the ground, everything's all happening harmoniously together. And then you look over a conventional vineyard, it's like scorched earth. So that I guess that turned into a thing for me that became important, and I just got super passionate about it.
Yeah.
And I guess it kind of, for me, it turned into like the free range egg for wine. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
That does taste different, and like, let's do what we can to make it standard.
Yeah, no, that's really cool, man. I've got to get into it more. I like the way you use the free range egg analogy, because it's like that, It's like my mum's still buying cage eggs, and I'm like, I don't get it. They're right there, the other ones.
The yolk is not that yellow in a cage egg, and it's like, it's weird. Yeah.
It's crazy, yeah. This is just a random question. What is sort of deems an organic wine organic? Is it the produce, or how does it become organic?
Oh man, I've done this spiel so many times. And but not in a bad way. But it's really like, okay, so like organic wine and organic wine is easy because to be organic just has to have no chemical pesticides or herbicides or anything like that going into the fruit or whatever. But you can get an organic wine and then make something that isn't natural.
Mm-hmm.
But natural wine doesn't have any official kind of laws, saying what makes natural wine.
Yeah.
Our general criteria is organic or biodynamic fruit, fruit that hasn't been fucked with.
Yeah.
For wild, no chemical yeast. Chemical yeast, what they use to flavor popcorn and bubblegum and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And no corrective additives, no acid, no color, none of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And minimal sulfur or preservative.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's the
that's the definition. So generally, like every part of it is sort of unfucked with.
Exactly.
Up until it's bottled, and then it's like, okay, we're good to go. We're natural still.
Totally. But it's like some of the best wines in the world are natural wines, but a lot of people talk about it in like a stylistic kind of thing, but they're not. Yeah. There's no official. It's not like champagne where it has to be from Champagne to be called champagne.
Yeah.
People can call anything a natural wine, and it doesn't necessarily adhere to any of those rules.
Yeah. Right. No, that's cool, man. I like that. It's definitely interesting, and again, with all the artwork and the way everything's presented, you touched on the wine. The color. That was a big thing. I noticed a lot of these wines. I had, you get your white wine, which you think is white, and you get red, and then the rosé, and that's kind of the stock standard where your brain goes to wine drinkers. But on your site, on Built to Spill, it was fucking like a rainbow. There was some your gold shit. There was crazy looking stuff. I had years ago, I did a bit of hospo like way back when, and I got involved in like a brewery up in Brisbane, and it was the first time I'd ever tasted it was an amber wine, and I remember just being like, this was fucking going back like 8 years ago, and I was like, wow, this is unreal, because I loved beer, and it was like the closest thing to a beer, but it was wine, so it just blew my mind at that time, and for years I was just like, where do I get this stuff? Where do I find this stuff? This is just like, where is this shit? And now I feel like I've oh, okay, it's now starting to come to surface with the likes of Built to Spill and stuff. So
for sure, and it's like, that's what I kind of I love about that side of natural wine, is that accessibility and opening the gate a little bit for people. It's like, hey, if you are interested in things, you will like this.
Oh, dude, I know. It's cool, man. I said I love rosé, and it's funny, because for years I always thought rosé was just like, and I'm not a very tough person, like I'm not. I'm like a towering 5'7", a little bit overweight, and all these things, I can't really handle myself, and. For years I was like, rosé, I was like, nah, I don't know, it's a bit, not too masculine, it's not my thing. And then my uncle, who's a real estate agent, he's like, you got to try this, Az, you got to try this. You got me onto it. And I was like, I can't believe I've been avoiding this shit my whole life. Like, this is fucking lovely. And so many mates of mine from school, we're fucking 12, 13 years out now, but they come out of the woodwork, the plumbers, the corporate people, no matter what they're doing, everyone's just like, you got any rosé? Like, is there any in the fridge? Like, everyone wants the fucking rosé.
It's fucking mad. Like, wine's great, and it's like, we've even noticed like a few friends' bars and stuff. Like, we have some crazy like amber like stuff from Georgia, like in Eastern Europe, that's been like aged, some crazy stuff, and just get some like some proper essays come at the bar, like, well, you got any of that fucking like Pheasant's Tears, bro? Like, what is happening?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, they're just like, fuck. It's good. It's not gone mainstream by any means, but in a way, it kind of like people they want to drink it. Like it's like, because the tastes fucking good, right?
It tastes good, and like and that's the thing. Is like, if anything ever tastes gross or shithouse, like, don't drink it. Like, that's not cool.
Yeah.
and kind of like the same as music. I've definitely gone down that route. Be like, I only drink the most natural of wine. The same. Be like, I only listen to the most blackest of metal. Yeah, I've done both of those things, and it just ends up just being really yuck.
Yeah, yeah. It ends up you got to come back. You're just like, oh, where was my new metal CDs again? I just got to. I did really like the chocolate starfish. I got to be honest with you guys. You know.
Exactly. Like, that's good production for a reason.
Oh man, and that was kind of my vintage of like metal growing up. Like when I was in grade 6, I remember it was like Limp Bizkit were just like at an all-time high, and I was like, there's still a part of me that you go, yeah, I dig it. You know, you can't not get around it. You're like, I was a kid, I loved it.
I
Oh
was
man.
driving with my stepson the other day, and he was playing a game on his iPad. We're doing some deliveries together. You know, it's like just doing child labor,
Yeah.
and and I heard this like sound coming out of the headphones in his iPad as I just came back into the car to the stop, and I was like, "Are you listening to Linkin Park?" And he's like, "Do you know them?"
How good is that?
Put on in the end. It's like, it's pretty cool because it starts off as like, kind of like a sad melodic song, and then he starts rapping, and then it turns into metal. And I was like, yeah, bro, that's mad.
Yeah, it's so good. It's like the youth of tomorrow. It's like their Led Zeppelin. You know, it's just like, oh, do you remember when you first heard Linkin Park or Limp Bizkit? Yeah, it's just like, remember Fred Durst? He wore the hat backwards, and oh man, that was cool. That was cutting edge. Like, oh man, fuck, those are the good days. Hey, yeah, yeah, fuck, how good, man. With the collaborations, obviously, was that right from the start? You mentioned, I didn't know Crowbar. I don't know the guy's name. Yeah, that was, yeah. I don't know him or anything like that. I used to go to when Crowbar was still in Brisbane way back in the day. I used to try and catch quite a lot of shows there, and that was, yeah. They had to close their doors there, and I always thought that was a sad thing because it was such a fucking cool place, man. Like they just embodied, home of the heavy. Like they just embodied everything good about the whole, rock, punk, metal, everything. So that was sad, but they're still going in Sydney, yeah.
Oh yeah, going strong,
Yeah,
and
yeah. No,
yeah,
that's
and because they took over the old Bald Faced Stag, which has always been like, that's where I saw Power Trip play,
oh wow,
um,
yeah.
and King Parrot and numerous other bands. But yeah, no, it's great, and they've just got back open again now, and they've got a new barbecue joint in there as well, and yeah, they're going great guns. So
Yeah, no, that's good to see. Hey, I'll have to have to suss him out, maybe get him on the podcast, man. They were definitely, yeah, when Crowbar came about, like in Brisbane was just, it's like the big country town sort of city, and I thought it was just such a cool fucking thing for Brisbane to get. It was just like, wow, like this is different, this is cool. So it's good to see that it's still going like winter in Sydney. So I have to get down there. My sister-in-law lives in Sydney actually, so I have to now that the borders are open and shit, hopefully they stay open for a fucking nice amount of time that you can actually buy a ticket somewhere and not shit your pants about getting a refund.
yeah.
um,
I think we'll be playing a show there next time you come down, so that'd be good.
yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, I'll definitely be keeping tabs on that. So, mate, you're a friend of the show now, so I'll be dropping your name in many circles. Don't worry about that. So, anyone that's on the show is a definite close friend now. So, it's all good. How do you go about the musical collaborations? I know I had a look on the site, like, and I've seen it. You got like the chats. They've got a goon, which is I thought was like piss funny. I like the way goons made almost like a very subtle cult like comeback. I noticed you got the Bagnum on your site now, which is pretty fucking cool.
It's environmentally better. Like it's easier to transport. Doesn't take as much gas to drive it anywhere. And you can sleep on it. It's a pillow.
It actually works.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, so that's been a cool. There was heaps of fun. And yeah, we've got a lot of crazy things coming up. When does this air actually?
Man, probably tomorrow, to be honest. I'll just cut it up tonight. It's pretty raw. I'll slap intro and outro on it, and we're good to go, man. Yeah.
There should be potentially two things getting announced tomorrow: Paul Kelly and Hockey Dad.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And if they have not been done by the time this goes out, I'm sorry, everybody, but suck shit.
Nah, that's good, man. I like to think I've got a larger sort of audience, but yeah, I'm still quite small time, so hey, we'll get the tongues wagging, man. Don't worry about that. That's cool. How do you come about the musical collaborations? Would a band approach you, or do you go, look, we like this fucking artist or band, and we got an idea, you go to them, or how does it sort of work if people out there listening want to get amongst it?
It's all over the show, like obviously with the Crowbar crew and Unified as well. Like most of the bands that we work with are friends of ours, or
Yeah, right.
or at least have played Crowbar before or whatnot, or have done tours with the label or whatnot. So it kind of a lot of it's very organic in that sense. But there's actually. I can't actually say who this is because it's not coming up to November, but this is actually pretty funny. I've got a rapper from the States. I'm doing a collab with. We're doing a collab with him, releasing a wine in the States and Australia at the same time with two of my winemaker friends, one maker in the US and here as well. And I just sorted that out by just like fucking spam DMing his manager saying, "We need to do a wine collab."
Yeah.
Because I saw him this rapper who was like drinking one of my favorite wines in the world, Jean-Francois Ganavat, which is this amazing wine, like this amazing wine from the Jura, which is like this like super niche region in France. I saw this Instagram of him like drinking one of my favorite wines. It's like, we gotta fucking do something with this guy.
Yeah. How is it meant to be?
Yeah. And then they're like, yeah, finally got through. And then his manager's like, that's a great idea. We fucking love natural wine. Sweet,
Yeah.
let's do it.
Yeah. Fuck. How good is it, man? And it's good that we live in the day and age where you can see that and you can just go, you know what? I've got the person here. I'll just send them a message. And if they don't answer, I'll just keep fucking messaging them, yeah. No, that's awesome. So November for that one. No spoilers.
No spoilers, no. He was nominated for a Grammy this year.
I'm gonna have to do that after. That's the wheels are sort of turning. Yeah, I like that. That's really cool. I think it's really cool. Like I had a look at all the collaborations and it's kind of almost like not that I was familiar or fucking listened to every song of every band you've done there, but I saw the chats and I saw Goon. I was like, oh yeah, that like makes sense. But you got like the Rubens on there. We had Nat's What I Reckon. I saw he was on there. He's gold, man. Are you friends? So you mates with him as well, or you just sort of found him? Yeah,
he's around the corner from me as well.
Yeah, nice.
We're meant to be doing some blind tasting reviews soon of wines. It should be good.
Yeah,
green screen set up, so that should be pretty fun.
Yeah, man. He's gone big time. It's cool actually to see. Yeah. It
was really cool putting that together. It kind of makes sense, and we want to collaborate with whatever's going as long as they're good people and there's some good artistic integrity in there. But it's especially easy with him. It's like we have the same taste in music and whatnot, so it's pretty good.
Yeah, fuck yeah. How does someone get just say a certain podcaster that's a rosé enthusiast or something like that, just hypothetically a good handful of listens show to show. If someone wants to get amongst it, how would you go about it? Is there like there's levels to this shit, or how do you go?
I mean, like, I would like to just say it's just like free for all. You have to go through a series of Korean challenges.
There's a red light and there's a green light. Yeah. Oh fuck yeah! A boy can dream.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck. And that was the whole thing with the old dream with the place as well. It was like it was born in COVID, but very much looking forward to the future of getting as many people involved to be able to travel interstate and be a part of getting these things to happen as well. So I'm definitely not averse to the multi collab as well.
Yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, look, this is a passion project of mine, but I think I've done I get a kick of seeing fucking King of the Couch on a shirt or a hat or something like that, and I see people do some beers, and I'm like, oh, I can have a fucking beer too. Why not? And I was like, yeah, I can have a rosé too. Why not? You know what I mean? We can do this shit. Why not? Uh,
Rose of the couch.
oh man, who? Yeah, I I don't know. You can make my dreams come true here. Who knows? Yeah, we could. We'll stay in touch. We'll stay in touch. No, that's cool, man. I look. I love it. From the outside looking in. Yeah, again, visually, like everything is really appealing. Every bottle has its own particular type of artwork, and it just sort of everything stands out to me. I like the way you're doing the collaborations, and I think it's cool that the whole mindset behind it is to you're partnering two things, wine and music. You love both those things.
Yeah.
Where everyone amongst it loves both those things. It's a way to give back to that wine community, your hospo community, and then a way to give back to the bands and shit that you know and love. So I think that's really cool. And the bands can do that too. I think that's even better. So that's great.
Exactly. Like, the way I always put it is, I, except for right now, like I'd never drink wine without listening to music.
Oh, okay. That's wicked.
And if it was socially acceptable, I would only drink wine when I listen to music.
Yeah. No, I think that's cool, man. Well, you can chat once we crack off, man. You can chuck some tunes on, man, and enjoy the rest of your Monday evening. What's the future hold for Built to Spill? I know you said it was born sort of out of COVID, so it can't be more than 2 years old, roughly. I suppose it's a baby, isn't it?
Actually, it's our birthday this week on the 21st.
So not even a year in. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we're running a few promo things this week. All our great customers over the last year have supported us. We're giving a whole bunch of cool stuff away too, and we're going to set up some pretty cool members subscriptions services, which at the moment looking at like limiting down to just a small amount of people that will take a year that will have kind of first pick at all the rare bottles of wine that come through, and ongoing discounts and first pick at all the rare vinyl and things like that as well. But like looking on from now, like we just want to do events, man. We want to do festivals. We want to be putting good wine in front of good people, and we want to do more great collaborations, and it's all about growing the scene in both kinds of ways. And we just we love drinking this wine. Like this is the life we lead, and we just want to share that with everyone. And it's such a small scene at the moment, like natural wine anyway.
Yeah.
We want to turn it into the free range egg, and I think that's going to be a little bit easier converting music fans into natural wine fans.
Yeah, no, that's cool, man. You've sold me. As I've been sort of watching, stalking online like a weird catfish sort of person does, and I've liked it, man. So I'm definitely gonna have to hook something up for sure. So I think it's cool. And I hope it gets to the fucking big stage. I'm excited to see these. Well, you said Paul Kelly, Hockey Dad, and the other we can't mention collaboration to come. So, yeah.
It's not NAS, but it's related to NAS.
I like what you said. I'm honestly, you said Grammy. I'm thinking I got an idea. I'm going to say it because I don't want to sort of spoil it. But people can put it together. The fucking yeah, the King's men and women can put it together and see how they go. So, no, that's really cool, man. Obviously you're all over Instagram. Built to Spill Wine on Instagram.
Wine, Master Leonard 666, and if you want to waste some time, at Time on Fire as well.
Yeah, I definitely back that. I definitely get behind that Time of Fire page. It's pure fire, no pun intended.
I need to. I've got some more ideas coming. I've got like a fucking bazillion ideas, and it's annoying because a lot of the time, like if I have an idea, I've got to just make it happen right then and there.
Yeah.
And some of my best things have come out when I don't have time to do anything else. But like literally everything you'll see on there, even the many costume changes and everything, like nothing takes me more than like 30 to 40 minutes to make all together. And I would like in the future to be able to take a bit more time and put a bit more effort in.
Yeah, dude. Nah, yeah, you definitely kill it, man. I said I've done one once, and it probably took me a lot more time than that. And there was no costume changes, and I was like, this is fucking pretty good here, you know, like 3 hours worth of work, and I haven't been able to make a sequel yet. It's lost in cyberspace now, but yeah, you kill it, man. So that's an art form in itself, I think. So if you can monetize that, you've made it, man.
But yeah, I did get turned down for a fucking acting role the other day. Not that I've been applying for any acting roles, but if there's anyone out there in the internet,
Yeah, I'd back that statement. I'd hire you if I was a director. Or maybe I will be a director. I'm a podcast now. It can't be, there's a small gap. It can't be that fucking hard, right? Yeah.
just
I've been, I pushed some buttons. I've been directing this podcast from start to the finish. It's cool, man. I get it.
directed.
Fuck yeah, dude. Nah, man, I really, really appreciate your time. Hey, the internet's a weird and wonderful place, and it's cool that I've been able to fucking check out your shit and now get you on the show, and you've been able to sort of spread the joy. I think it's sick what you're doing with Built to Spill. I love Master Leonard and how fucking dark and heavy and metal you are. Cool, man. Might have to hook up again one day, talk more music, talk more wine, things like that. Maybe, I don't know, we'll talk more wine collaborations. Podcasting, we'll go. Yeah. Jose Rose, mate. Yeah, fucking, who knows? Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Hamish Blake from Hamish Nandy follows me.
I did notice that.
And he did drink some of my cider, so I'm like, you've got one person in front of you, but that's him, and that's it. No, all other podcasters can fuck off.
Yeah, fuck. Yeah, Hamish, he's done all right. He's done well for himself, and I will kudos to him and Andy. But man, yeah, as he needs to fucking get the tie insider on his Instagram and promote that, man. I reckon you'd fucking go through the roof. It's crazy how that shit works. One person does something and it's like fucking viral. Oh,
it's nuts.
Yeah,
but, you know, that's if it works, it works.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Nice, man. Mate, really appreciate your time. Appreciate you jumping on the King of the Couch potty. Yeah, we'll get the show up and we'll get it fucking live and cranking, man. And we'll have to get stuck into some wine and metal. But appreciate your time, bro.
Thank you so much, man.
Thanks so much.
Awesome.
All right, guys, that's Tai Tate from Master Leonard, Built to Spill. This is King of the Couch. We're out. We love you all.